Well, here we are at the corner of the Lake Augusta Dam. We have the Thousand Lakes Lodge over here, which we're zooming into, just showing the location, approximately 150 metres from an old construction site back in the hydro days of the mid-50s, and they would have done all their batching here of the concrete. So we're going to walk down this road to a place where a new toilet block was put in about 3 years ago. And when Hydro put this toilet block in, they actually dug up old asbestos sheeting. Now, they've put an advisory sign, which we're going to see first of all. Just a little bit of a walk down here. But just up on the hill here is part of the old batching plant. So they would have been tipping in all the basalt crushed gravel, the concrete, and from what Hydro told me, also a lot of asbestos fibres that goes into the bonding of the concrete. So there's still lots of old concrete lying around the place from the days of batching up. We'll visit those in a moment. First of all, we'll go have a look at the advisory sign, which I found here on the 18th of December after finding asbestos sheets over at the toilet block. Now, get out the sun there. It's actually a warning. Lake Augusta Campground, general warnings. This area may contain buried asbestos. No, Hydro have confirmed to me they had to remove asbestos from this site shortly after the new toilet block was built. Has a hotline number to ring, which we did, reported on the 18th of December, and only rang Hydro the other day on the 14th of February, or approximately there, to find out what had been done. We had been told they would cordon this area off straight away. The same kind of thing you should be seeing in Sydney right now. So this is the old batching concrete that's fallen out the batches. It's all loose, apparently potentially full of lots of asbestos fibres. They stopped using asbestos in concrete in the 1980s, and you've got all this left here. Now this is the new toilet block that was put in 3 years ago, where they dug up all the asbestos and had it tested for this site containing asbestos. So when we notified Hydro, we sent them the photos of these broken sheets of asbestos, which are all broken up and mixed in the ground here. Now this place has been operating all the way through Christmas with people pulling here. You have campers over here camping in this site at the moment. A lot of this dust can end up on people's feet. So you have more broken asbestos shards. I'm not going to venture too much into this area, but when they dug this toilet block, that's when they found how contaminated the site is. And I expect there's two forms of contamination. There's the old sheeting from the building. There's even a piece of asbestos right here in the gravel where people are walking. Now, young children would probably come to this spot. There's also a boat ramp there. And nothing has been done by Hydro, knowing the potential damage for this. So again, lots of concrete. So two types of potential contamination. The sheeting itself from the building all broken up and buried, and then the actual asbestos fibres from the production of the concrete. Well, here we are at one of the concrete walls as part of the levee where the concrete was used in the mid-50s to build this. Now, at the batching plant back at the toilet block, they would, from my understanding, put a lot of asbestos fibres into the concrete to bond the concrete together. Now, this practice of putting asbestos fibres in the concrete stopped in the 80s. Now this particular wall is really showing bad signs of deterioration from the harsh environment up here. Things like frost heave, when the frost gets in there, busts up the concrete, and here we have a situation where it's even been patched up along here. So all this concrete's fretting down here into small pieces at the bottom of the wall. So we'll walk along a little further. This is not very far from the main dam wall, the toilet block and the old batching plant. Again here you can see all this concrete is breaking up. Admittedly it's not a high exposure site for people to get any fibres if they are in this concrete and are present. But that could all be tested. But there are no warning signs if that is the case. And this wall is certainly a serious problem as far as its life expectancy. It's all crumbling and breaking through here. And this spills over with water. There's all broken shards of concrete all down in there. So we'll just walk up here. By the way, this is a very unique part of Tasmania with special sand dunes that were built up in glaciation times, which have very special plant communities in them. So there's the back of the wall. The majority of that's all covered up. And here you have more deterioration and breakdown of the concrete. And here we are here. That's all breaking up. So how many fibres are in there, I don't know. But is it a risk? I don't know. I would say it'd have to be considered.